We basically need data protection, mostly to make sure that people can't claim ownership of content that isn't theirs. It's a big issue we see on all the other platforms, and I think that blockchain can help eliminate that. Hey everyone, my name is Emil Sterndorff. I'm the founder and CEO of Altcoin Magazine, and I'm on a mission to educate the world on new technological advancement, primarily in the financial sector. In this episode of Blockchain Beyond Hype, I'll talk about using blockchain technology in the digital media industry. Hope you enjoy. When I was taking a look at the industry, I saw a lack of innovation from the content platforms, and we wanted to create a platform where more of the people are involved. So when you go to another crypto site, you can almost be certain that the content is written because the authors got paid for it. Whereas on our platform, our writers, they write and distribute their content out of pure passion. And then of course later we are planning to implement monetization, but right now we are more like the early stage of YouTube, where content wasn't monetized, but then later on we will introduce all the ways that our content producers can earn money. Right now, I think there is a lack of innovation. So the world is moving really fast in terms of technology, but when it comes to content platforms, I think they're lagging behind in both design and UI and UX. Another thing is the middlemen. So they are taking a substantial portion of the money that can be made in content production. There's an issue that without blockchain, processes can be prolonged unnecessarily. Then we have ownership protection, which makes sure that an author gets the ownership of the content being published on the blockchain. Furthermore, we eliminate the risk for data loss, accidental data loss, or even if content is being censored by the centralized company. We see that often with YouTube, even with videos that doesn't violate their terms and conditions. And of course, in many platforms, there's a lack of monetization. With blockchain, that's going to change a lot over the next few years. So blockchain technology in the publishing industry is great for content ownership and for eliminating middlemen, especially for monetization. On many platforms like YouTube, when the content creators are making money, there's a substantial amount of money going to the organization behind, and as well for the payment processors. So a blockchain is like a table of information, which means that once an article or video has been published, it's linked to both a timestamp and an author. And the nature of blockchain allows to build apps on top, which means that you can expand with things like copyright and plagiarism and etc. I think it's an issue that content are and can easily be copied from all around the world. What we need instead is platforms that can ensure that content are original in all cases. Well, as with any centralized platform like medium.com, content can be lost due to an error in the code or if their site is taken down. The risk will be taken away by the decentralized storage of the data. Seen many interesting projects being built around content distribution on blockchain, but I think where it gets really interesting is when the big companies like Medium or YouTube implements blockchain, because many small companies or startups, I think they will have a problem getting started with blockchain, because right now it's still complicated, it's hard to figure out, and for them to build a platform where it's a seamless integration. So I think that it's better to build a user base and then later implement blockchain, and of course build it in a way that the user won't know that it's blockchain. I think it's interesting with blockchain that we can introduce a new kind of monetization where we remove the middlemen, and this means that we will have quicker payouts for the content creators and there will be much lower fees. To me, middlemen are completely irrelevant, so whether it's payment processors or banks, and instead we are building our platform around this very concept, making sure that our content creators are paid directly and without middlemen and at the lowest fees possible. Right now it's too early, but I see it as a big thing in the future when blockchain is on everyone's mouth. In order for companies like ours to implement blockchain, I think the solutions needs to be there in the beginning for us to implement. And another issue I see right now is that the content creators might feel distant to this new technology, making it harder for companies to acquire content creators. This is something that will be solved over time. Right now we're going through a lot of changes. Just a few months ago we received funding from a company called Block5. They invest in blockchain startups, and since then we've been focused on building our own platform. So we started on medium.com. Now we are building our own website where we will be focusing on more than just articles. So we will be implementing videos and podcasts and of course articles and news. We'll focus a lot more on monetization than most other platforms. So first of all, it's a place where everyone can contribute, but we also think that other platforms lack monetization and of course transparency in the monetization. We will be building our platform around Bitcoin, which is an already established means of payment, and this will allow us to make a lot of microtransactions, which is currently not possible with other platforms. The first one would be, I think, monetization and the removal of middlemen. So this is where blockchain gets really interesting, because we no longer need people to do what code can do. The second one is, as I mentioned earlier, content can't be lost if there's an error in the code or if there's a server that breaks down. And with blockchain, the data is decentralized. So if one computer goes down, then it'll be found on another computer. And the third one is the protection of ownership. So with blockchain, you will always know that the person that published the article first, they will have the name and the ownership of the content. We basically need data protection, mostly to make sure that people can't claim ownership of content that isn't theirs. It's a big issue we see on all the other platforms, and I think that blockchain can help eliminate that. For example, YouTube is a place where you can publish content and you can earn money on it. You can even publish other people's content and earn money on it. But they are actually implementing code into their platform that detects if data is duplicated. The money earned on the content, it will be distributed to the rightful owners. And that's what blockchain will do even better, basically. I see blockchain being implemented in almost any industry. So if you just take a few examples, we can say with companies, I see anything from the local grocery store to the local construction company. And in terms of use cases, I imagine anything from salary applications to even national currencies being transformed into blockchain-backed currencies. Solutions will be simplified over time. I think the best way to do it is that blockchain will be a thing you can implement with the push of a button. In terms of my own industry, I think we will evolve away from tokenized businesses and more into businesses that are built on blockchain, but built around Bitcoin and other major cryptocurrencies. And as I always say, I think that the world needs more Bitcoin businesses than tokenized ones. Thank you for watching, guys. If you're curious about blockchain technology and want to know more, check out Altcoin Magazine, follow blockchain through social media, and don't forget to subscribe to their YouTube channel. See you!